I don't know why on this one I have to click go live, but on the gaming channel it just goes live without any prompting. What's happening? Oh, did I not close my game? I did not. Bye, game. Like a wreck. Right. I forgot. I forgot this is the one where he scares the living bejeebus out of himself. Let's see. There we go. Oh yeah. Tink. There we are. A little bit. Hang on. I got this. I swear. There we go. Yay! Halloween. This is spooky season. This is spooky season, spooky season, spooky season. Now, let me make sure I've got my audio going through the rights. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Should be okay. What? Oh, the egg rolls were good? Yay. I don't want egg rolls now, I'm not gonna lie. Kinda got me craving that crap now. Greetings from Scottish. Thank you, Spooky Pondu. V8's good though, Rocky. I like V8, especially spicy V8. That's some good stuff. Alright, we're gonna... I don't know what we're gonna do. We're going to... I don't know. Turn the phone off, I guess? My partner's going to be out, so I like having my phone on, but I know the alarm's gonna go off like 9 million times, and I don't want to lose. I don't want to listen to it. Hello, Horse and Rider. Hello, Night Owl. Hello, Shayna. Hello, Rocky, and Concentrate on Small Things. Smoky Pondu. Alyssa! We were playing zombies, and Canadian Pigeon got killed. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to make another Canadian Pigeon. But, in their defense, they did survive quite a while. AJCD, hello. What else did I miss? Nobody? Excellent. Spicy V8's the best. And I actually like it warm. I know I'm a weirdo. Like room temperature warm, not like refrigerated warm. I know. It's fine. It's fine. Hello, Tangerine. I didn't like V8 when I first started drinking it, but that's because I had it like really cold. I just remember not liking it because it was like cold, and I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting basically vegetable soup. So. The pigeon. Aw, Canadian Pigeon was one of the best NPCs in the game. Also, we lost Shaun of the Dead. I don't know what happened to him, but somehow we got Reese and the doctor back, so I know the doctor's dead. So it's like yeah, like seasoned tomato soup, yeah. And I think that's why I like the spicy version better, is because it's like tomato soup with the kick. I guess. The spicy V8's pretty bomb. I used to get the oh hey Ava. I used to get the V8, I don't know, the juice mixes, the juice splashes. They're just not the same. They're just juice. Juice. He proved himself. Yes, everything's well. Yeah, gazpacho. Thank you, Nidal. That's what I was thinking of. I hadn't had gazpacho before that either, so like I didn't even know gazpacho was a thing. And then I found a recipe for like a watermelon gazpacho, and it's interesting, I guess. I wouldn't go out of my way for it, but I kind of want to make it again just to see if, I don't know, you know how your taste buds change, right? I just want to make it again and see if like maybe it tastes better this time. We're also playing around with the lighting because like I'm trying to not get a migraine today. But I've also been doing a lot of lives, so. Yeah, the V8 splash, I don't know. Oh, I should put the chat up. Hey, look, there's the chat. Now everyone knows who I'm talking to. Do 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 do. Got my own music stuck in my head. Yay, Michiwi, back. Aaron. I have chill in the fridge made with V8. Oh, chili made with V8. Yeah, I've done that before too. I used to, I had a juicer for a hot minute. It was alright. I didn't really care for it. I mean, I've always wanted one because I wanted to know what it was like, and now that I've had one, I'm like, eh. But anyway, I was making my own V8 there for a minute. It's just easier to buy it though. It's like less messy, easier. I don't really care that much, or as much of it as I drink. Notifications have been terrible. Oh. Hey Ava, happy official spooky season. Yes. Today is actually my oldest sister's birthday, so happy birthday, oldest sister. I don't know how old she is. I'm sorry. Alright, so I thought, because it is spooky season, I thought we could do some reactions to the Buzzfeed Supernatural series. Since I've done one, I figured I should do more. So I might end up like editing these and putting them up on the paranormal. I don't know, because like the paranormal one, the paranormal archaeology channel, I've been doing the reactions kind of in a podcast style, and they're actually doing okay as far as podcasts. So I don't know. We'll see how this works. I hate to have to do the same thing twice, but the Whaley House is really interesting. We're gonna watch Spirits of the Whaley House, which I think is the second. It's the second BuzzFeed Supernatural episode where Ryan and Shane went on location, and they go to the Whaley House. And I still do not understand why the Whaley House is apparently so haunted. And it's going to be very interesting because right there is all of the licensed music. So it's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to end up getting cut. But chili and Kahlua is wow, all right. I put chocolate in my chili. I've never put Kahlua in my chili. It's a combo. The decision. No, I'm kidding. Decisions were made. Made well, who knows? But anyway, all right. So the Whaley House, obviously it's a real place, and it's really interesting because the Historical Society of the area actually really pushes the Whaley House as a haunted attraction, which is good for them because, you know, it allows them to keep a historical landmark up to code, you know, just in good shape, which is problem with a lot of these older houses. Please excuse me while I get the sleep things out of my eyes. Anyway, it keeps a historical site funded, and it's very hard to keep historical sites funded often because And to be fair, people just don't care. And that's the problem. So, but if you make a place haunted, suddenly it becomes unique and everybody wants something to do with it. So, yars. Before we get too far into this, have I screwed it all up? Pretty much. Alright, so this is the Whaley House website. So this is the historical, it has two sides to the website. Excuse me. One is the historical part of it, you know, the landmark part of it. And it's a very interesting story about Thomas Whaley and how he purposefully built this house to be the best house in the whole damn neighborhood. And for those of you who don't know, the Whaley House is in Southern California. Where is it exactly? San Diego. There we go. It's in Old Town San Diego. And there's like, I like this little story here that's on this is the official Whaley House Museum page, by the way. I like this little story just because it kind of gives you the history of the Whaley House, how it was a pillar in the Old Town San Diego community, and that when the new town of San Diego came in, they actually wanted to transfer, because apparently the Whaley House was loaning space inside the house to the Old Town for document storage. So when the new town started to come up, they wanted to take the documents out of the Old Town and put it into an actual office building, like an actual like government building. And there was apparently a big kerfluffle about this, where the Old Town residents didn't want to move the files out of the Whaley House and into the new town place, but eventually new town won because, you know, new things. That was back in 1871. You know, new town. So yeah, anyway, new town versus old town. So I just think that's a kind of a fun story. Yeah, despite threats of armed resistance from the Old Towners, the records were moved on March 31st, 1871, effectively shifting the focus of the city to Newtown. What I do find interesting here is, though, we're talking about San Diego, and the history of San Diego back in the 1800s. There's no mention of Chinatown or any kind of immigration whatnot, which I find very interesting, and because California was a big hot pot for that. So let me do something real quick. Yeah, San Diego's Chinatown was an 8-block district inhabited by Chinese immigrants beginning around the 1860s. So this would have been, what, 3 years after Whaley House was built, and it would have firmly been part of Newtown. But when you scroll through this, I mean, obviously Pioneer family, you know, the Whaleys moved out here specifically to, this is the other reason why I'm like, it's very interesting that there's no mention of Chinese immigrants, because again, we're talking about the California Gold Rush, which is a huge part of Chinese immigration history. And San Diego is one of the major centers for, that was weird, one of the major cities for Chinese immigration. So it's just odd to not mention it at all. And because, you know, if we're talking about like Newtown and Old Town San Diego, there was some interaction here with immigrants, especially Chinese immigrants. Because here we're even talking about, who is this? Yeah, this is Thomas Whaley himself. Thomas Whaley is a Scots-Irish. So, you know, there you have that. I just find it interesting. The things that we do talk about and the things that we don't talk about as far as like history and stuff, like I kind of wonder if the Whaley House Museum is even aware of the fact that this would have been right in the center of the Chinese immigration and the gold rush era, and there's like no mention of it whatsoever, even though San Diego was one of the larger Chinatowns at the time. It's just an odd thing to leave out. But it's also something that I notice a lot in American history is we just kind of like ignore the fact that there were like Chinese immigrants in the United States at any point. Apparently, the railroad built itself. It's kind of one of those things. Yes, tourist attractions do equal money, and that is the important part here. Because my gripes aside, it is an old and historical house. Excuse me, Thomas Whaley was an important character for the development of San Diego. The house itself is a beautiful piece of architecture. Like, it's just a lovely house, but it's hard to get people interested in being like, oh yes, the house is very old and it's got beautiful architecture. I mean, look up here and you can see the yada yada yada. Versus, yes, and in the third bedroom to the right, Mrs. Whaley passed away, writhing in agony as she was being tortured by the spirits of something something. Which one of those stories are the one you want to listen to? And here's where the paranormal archaeology comes in. Paranormal archaeology is examining how we as humans interact with various things, places, thoughts after they've been determined to be supernatural or haunted, right? Nobody gives a shit about the Whaley house if it's just a historical site. Make it a haunted historical site and suddenly everyone cares, or at least enough people care that you can keep the house in good shape. You should do a joint video. I did a Dark Anthro deep dive on Anna, actually. I mean, basically. Yeah, the best thing about ghost stories is learning about history. One of my acquaintances, who's an actual professor, she actually teaches archaeology, you know. She's got the PhD and all that good stuff. She wrote an article called Ghost Hunting as Historical Archaeology by April Besaw. And in it, she argues that, and she uses ghost hunting in her classes when she's teaching historical archaeology, actually, to get her students to engage with the recent history of a lot of things. Like ancient history, people are all about ancient history because it's far enough back that it's far enough back that it's mysterious, which also plays into the whole paranormal archaeology aspect of things. Things are falling. There we go. All I wanted was my coffee. Anyway, but that also plays into the, you know, paranormal aspect of things. If I tell you something's ancient, well, suddenly it's more interesting than if I tell you it's from the 1850s. Who gives a crap? You know? Yeah, whatever. I got 50 of those in the basement. But it's an ancient coin. Oh, well, now you have my attention. That kind of a thing. But yeah, so she uses historical archaeology. She uses ghost hunting to teach historical archaeology, which actually allows people to engage with recent historical sites on a much deeper level, which I think is really, I find it very fascinating. And I also think, like, on the one hand, I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad. People don't want to interact with things unless they think it's supernatural. But if we really examine a lot of, you know, human mythology and just human history in general, the things that tend to stick with us and the things that tend to get passed down generation to generation tend to be the spookier stories. You know, we like ghost stories. We like stories about the unknown. We like paranormal stories. So if that's what it takes to keep people interested in history, then, I mean, it's not the worst thing on the planet, right? Also, a lot of ghost stories, this one, the Whaley House isn't going to be one of these examples, but a lot of ghost stories do kind of revolve around lesser known figures in history. Like, you know, the shoe salesman at the, well, we just talked about Grand Central in New York. You know, the shoe salesman who haunts Grand Central Station, you know, because, I don't know, he passed away on the tracks one day, and so he just keeps going to work to polish people's shoes. Why would you ever learn about somebody like that in any other capacity than he's a ghost and he's haunting Grand Central Station? This is completely fictitious, by the way. I just made that up. But my point is, that person now has a place in the historical record because he's a ghost. Right? He would not have that place any other reason, which might be why we don't really talk about Chinese immigrants that much, because we don't have a lot of haunted Chinese immigration sites. Maybe that's what we need to do. Something to talk about. So, we want to listen to the second one. Exactly, Michi. Leave out the things that don't make the US look good. Oh, sweetie. I've already studied American history. It's too late. Hello, Ruby. I saw you snuck in. Hello, Unlikely Ray. Who else got in here? I got Michi. I'm just scrolling through things to see, make sure I got everything. I took the train. I see you, comment. I see you. I don't have a basement. Thank you. Where would I put 50 bodies? Have a backyard. Very acidic soil. You'd be surprised how quickly that breaks down. I usually end up doing my own independent research and going down historical rabbit holes. I mean, history is interesting. Like, I obviously spent way too much time studying it in college. But yeah, I mean, history is interesting. But to the average person, this is why people like aliens when it comes to like ancient history and that kind of shit, which is my other channel where I completely rail on about this stuff. It makes it more interesting, right? It's, if I just tell you, oh, this is just another Roman city, you know, Roman walled city and yada yada, some war, yada yada yada, I don't even give a shit, right? I didn't study that history. But then you add in, oh, well, the walls were built by aliens. Well, now everybody wants to know what the hell's going on because aliens, you know, you either believe in them or you don't. But either way, your interaction with a site changes intellectually because now you're either trying to prove aliens or you're trying to disprove aliens, or you're just kind of curious to see why someone would even think that. But either way, your interaction with that site has now changed because of the introduction of aliens. Same thing with ghosts. Whaley House, beautiful house, has a lot of historical significance to it, should be preserved. Probably they were having a difficult time doing it, and then they became haunted, and haunted sites really took off. There are some people who will avoid them like the plague, but there are a lot of people, myself included, who would love to go to haunted locations and make that like their living. I would love to be a professional haunted house person, but, you know, life choices and all that. What was I going to go to? Excuse me. Lost my train of thought. It just completely went off the tracks. Anyway, it'll come back. Got a paranormal class at Adams State. Well, I didn't physically go to Adams State, but that's pretty cool. Uncovered dark history while researching a hiking trail. Yes. You best believe I scratched my original idea and just told the story of a land dispute that ended in death. Oh, well, now you have my interest. See, now you have my interest. Sorry, Kim. Kim Asia is not properly haunting U.S. American landmarks. Yeah. You go rally the troops there. How do we attract these particular ghosts? See, here's the thing though, when you look at you know, on that topic, when you look at European ghosts versus Asian ghosts, like Asian ghosts are vicious. There is no like making it happy to go away. Like Asian ghosts are like curses, right? European ghosts are like, oh, I just have to rebury the body with proper rites and suddenly the ghost is happy and it leaves. So like there's the rub, right? If we get a proper like Chinese ghost haunting of a location, like that location is a death trap, right? For realsies. As opposed to European ghosts where it's just like, oh, we like to knock on wood. You know, that kind of crap. So it's just an interesting cultural difference in ghosts and how the supernatural interacts with the living, right? The supernatural is much more of a threat in some cultures than it is in, well, European culture, for example. It's not, they're threatening and they can be dangerous, but there's almost always a way to overcome them or to make them happy so that they will go away. And a lot of cultures outside of Europe don't have that aspect. Like you're haunted, you're screwed. You know, it's not oh, let's sprinkle some water on you and say some prayers and suddenly you're fine. No, it's done. So that's interesting. Hello, Dimple Skeptic. Love that name. Hello, Misanthropic Lightworker. I love visiting these locations because they are beautiful and often historical. The spookiness is just a welcome bonus. Well, see, that's the thing. The spookiness is why they get to be so well maintained, like the Winchester House. The Winchester House is mostly funded through the haunting stuff, right? They even charge you overnight for if you want to stay overnight there, right? And it's like $300. It's not cheap.
The Whaley House also has that kind of experience. If you want to pay a little bit extra, you and a friend could stay overnight in the Whaley House. We're not going to watch this video because I think it's goofy, but... So, yeah, over the years, many descendants of the Whaley family lived and died in the house, including Anna and a few of the children, Thomas Jr., Violet, and Francis, although the Whaley's family unfortunate past plays a key role in the home's chilling history. I don't understand why this house is so haunted. Many believe it was destined to be haunted before construction even began. The land is cursed. The eerie legacy of the Whaley house continues to grow as the family was struck with tragic deaths as well as paranormal and supernatural encounters that many still discover today. When we watch this, by the way, like I said, this is the second on-site investigation that Shane and Ryan do. Ryan is terrified the entire episode, like almost hyperventilating, terrified of this damn house. And I find it hysterical because it's all in his head. He's worked himself up to this point. Like, whether the house is haunted or not, he goes in so terrified off the bat that, like, every little thing sets him off. Like, he screams a few times because he's just that scared. I think it's hilarious. Well, maybe we will watch one of these. The property was infamous among the community as the site where horse thief Yankee Jim Robinson was publicly executed. Thomas Whaley was nevertheless unfazed by the location's grim history. Why is it one dude dies and it's suddenly the most terrible, grisly place? He was a horse thief. This is what they did with horse thieves. They would string them up in the town center because they didn't want people stealing horses. Unless you're mean, you deep dive everything and clean about. Sometimes the bad stuff's interesting. Spiritual racketeering. Hello, Theo. If I'm gonna haunt, I'm gonna haunt. Yeah, exactly. Even ghosts are perfectionists. Maybe that's why they can't leave. I haven't finished it yet. Thomas, who was only 18 months old. Oh, sorry. Their young son, Thomas, a junior, I believe, who was only 18 months old, died of scarlet fever inside the house. And this is the kind of crap. See, okay, I shouldn't say crap because I don't mean it that way. But this is the kind of stuff that is perplexing to me because children died of scarlet fever a lot. It was very well known. Especially during the 1800s, the mid-1800s in this. So you're telling me Thomas died of something that a lot of children died of during that time? Oh, I mean, I'm sorry Thomas died, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't uncommon. Like, what? This isn't unusual. So why are we associating Thomas dying of scarlet fever with Yankee Jim Robinson's execution umpteen years before Thomas Whaley decided to build his house on that property? Type A ghosts. If I was a ghost, I would do small annoying things like unplugging the phone from the... Oh, Theo, you'd be the worst. The worst. You'd be whatever the hell is in my house that hides the remote. I know it sounds that way. What was it I was looking for? Oh, I was looking for the dongle plug. I think they're called dongles for my mouse because it's a Bluetooth and it's got the little thing that plugs into your computer. Could not find it. Could not find it anywhere. I was making myself and my partner crazy. It was in my pocket. Never in my life have I ever put that dongle in any pair of jeans pockets ever. Never. Anyway. Pointing out. Type A. I'm still stuck on Type A ghosts. I'm sorry. That's hilarious. Ruby. Given how many people there have been, wouldn't someone have died on every inch of inhabitable Earth? Everywhere would be haunted. Exactly, Ruby. Partner and I talked that there are many... Partner and I talked that area may be a hot spot because of ley lines. Oh, yeah, let's get into... I don't think we get into ley lines in this one. The boys do talk about ley lines eventually. Have I discussed the Winchester? Yes, they went to the Winchester in the first episode of this that I reacted to on the Paranormal Archaeology channel. So I'll be posting this on the Paranormal Archaeology channel after we get done here, just to keep everything in one spot. But I figured I'd get more people interacting with it if I did it here. So here we are. Also, it's Halloween. Spooky Halloween. But yes, I've discussed the Winchester. I've actually done a couple podcasts on the Winchester's house. It's really an interesting thing. Okay, anyway. I did this on the last one. Halloween hat. The lights come on. With light up mushrooms, and I have a cloak, but I'm hot, so I'm not going to put that on. You get the witch's hat. Let's see. Baby Thomas, who had been the first in the family to pass away, had always stayed close by, as reported by many who have visited the home. They could hear tiny footsteps, the sounds of him crying, even giggling with no one. He's 18 months old. I don't have children. When do they start walking? 18 months is what, a year and 6 months? Do they walk that early? I'm OCD. Good God, an OCD ghost. Can you imagine? Seeing ad jingles. You guys are the worst. Oh, brioche. No. Concentrate on the small things. Oh heck, my mom still makes me nuts even after 11 years from the beyond. She used to take my keys and hide them when she was alive if I didn't put them away. She still does it. Oh, that's funny. Thank you. It's a good hat. The podcast is Archaeological Fantasies. You might have heard of it. Thank you. The hat. Okay, so the mushrooms, these are light up mushrooms. I gotta brag a little bit here. My mom made them by herself from scratch. Let me turn them off so you can see them. Maybe not. There we go. Look at the mushrooms. Aren't they cool? And then you turn them on. I'm gonna electrocute myself, so what's gonna happen? Ah! It's the coolest hat ever, I'm sorry. 10 to 15? 9? Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay, it would have been walking for a while. Alright, alright. Clearly I don't know what I'm talking about. Not impressed with this black lipstick, by the way. This is the Stay Matte from LA Girl. Not impressed with it. I've had one sip of water and one sip of coffee and it's pretty much gone. Yes, my mom is very creative. She drives me nuts as well, but she's very creative. Was consistently walking around well around 13 to 14. Okay, alright, alright, alright. See, this is why I ask, because I don't know. I don't have kids. Thomas, Anne, and several other spirits have also been felt within the home, on the stairwells, and on the property. Mists, lights turning on and off by themselves, and crystals in the parlor room swinging lamp without any prompt are all signs that the Whaley house still belongs to the many who called it home over the years. There's another really interesting claim that the Whaley house makes. America's most haunted house guided evening tour is fully narrated. Someday I will make it out there and I'll go on this tour and I will see if they'll let me film it, because I'm pretty sure they probably won't. But I guess what's this one about?
Discover the chilling history of America's most haunted house. Travel back in time to the 1800s as you explore the legendary Whaley house.
It's like a Harry Potter, a commercial for Harry Potter. Do 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 do. The lipstick may be very oil-based. Yeah, that's a good point, Kim. I've done that before. I want a Dior lip gloss. Somebody told me, I think it was a rather expensive one, but they were like, it stays. It's black and it stays. And I'm like, I may have to go in for that. Maybe next year. Good morning, Winter Sea.
would have been walking for a while. Look, I couldn't remember if the kid was male or female, and like I don't have kids, so. Tea with Unicorn says, I'm back and paid to find out my dog is so fat when he takes a nap on the floor, his foot falls asleep, and that's why he's limping. I'm not laughing, but I do think it's funny. Well, at least you know it's nothing serious, I guess. Nothing life-threatening. Well, no, even then. It's nothing that bad. It's nothing that can't be fixed. Like, nothing to make it called so haunted. Oh no, Swain. Yeah, right, Michi. Oh no, the lights turn on their own. That would be annoying at 3 in the morning, but... French toast sticks. My friend got one and the smell is so strong it lingered. Oh, the lipstick? Really? Hello, Lucy. Weight Watchers for pups. I may have to do that comment because, like, the only time I wear this, honestly, is for the videos, and it'd be fine if it just stuck around. No, poor baby, his leg fell asleep. It's a pug, too. That's funny. Poor pugs. I love pugs. They're adorable, but I know that they have, like, oodles of problems. Alright, so... the other thing, the Whaley House has this claim to fame that they are verified. What were they saying? They are classified by the government as being haunted, which is not entirely true. So in the 1960s, it was actually the 1970s because I looked all this crap up. The U.S. Commerce Department, this is the claim, that in the 1960s, the U.S. Commerce Department classified the Whaley's house as haunted. And the question is, did the U.S. government do that? No. Kind of. So back in the 1970s, I think it was 1977, a branch of the U.S. Commerce Department, which was the U.S. basically tourist branch, so they're like trying to get people to travel around the U.S., right? They want your tourist dollars to stretch throughout the U.S. They put together a haunted house tour brochure of haunted locations, possibly haunted locations in the US, right? They didn't specify 100% that these are haunted locations. They were just saying they are possibly haunted, which is as close as you're probably ever going to get to the US government classifying things. But it's just a branch of the US government. So it's like being classified haunted by my third great cousin on my uncle's side, which makes no sense, but you get my drift, right? I guess they're classified, but not actually. Not in so many words. They're in a brochure that was published back in the 70s, encouraging people to travel around the country to investigate possibly haunted locations. And the Whaley House is one of those, on top of the Winchester House as well. So I don't know if the Winchester House claims that they are US certified haunted, because I don't even know how you would manage that. So there you have that, but they're not technically US government certified. Like they don't, there is no US government certified haunted stamp for them to have. So that claim is a little over the top, but I don't know how much it really matters to like fight it. Like if I were to ever go on the tour and they're like, oh yes, the Whaley House is certified by the US government as being haunted, I don't know if I'd be like, oh, by the way, actually, because I don't know if it matters. I just think it's a little bit, I just kind of take it as like putting on airs, I guess, as a haunted house, a haunted location, they're putting on airs, because I
I don't know why the Whaley house is more haunted than, like, the Winchester house, because they were both on the same brochure. So I don't understand why one's more haunted than the other. If I had to classify them myself, just story-wise, I would definitely classify the Winchester as being more haunted than the Whaley house. But here we are.
And semantics, yes, yes. I want to know what they have on UFOs. Or, I mean, unidentified flying object covers a lot. It doesn't necessarily mean aliens. It just means they don't know what the fuck it was. Yeah, how do you certify something you can't prove? My cat did lose weight. My fat cat, he lost weight. He is within a healthy weight range. So, I don't know how we did it, but we did. Alright, my eye keeps sticking. We're talking about my local haunted spot. Are you from the Whaley area? Whaley House, San Diego area? Oh no. Okay, what Whaley has demons. Okay, that's what sends Ryan off the deep end, is the demons. They don't talk about it on the website. So, that being said, intermission music. Intermission music. Intermission music. Sorry about this. Hang on. Come back, chat. You don't need to be that big. Oh my god, I hate this computer sometimes. There we go. Jesus Christ. Jesus wept. Right, that's what I was doing. Do. That's closed. You can't go to that one anymore. It's closed. I closed the window. It doesn't exist. All you have is this option. Pull up the damn thing. My own music amuses me, so. There we go. Make sure the audio is still set for that. The last thing I want is to you guys not hear it. I think we're good. You can hear me, you can see the window, you can see each other. I'm going to warn you, I'm going to test the sound, and the beginning of this video is Ryan screaming, so take this as a warning to maybe pull your eardrum, cover your ears or something. I'm going to test the sound now. Okay. Yeah, that definitely works. So sorry. I didn't edit this. They did this. I'm sorry about that, but it's going to happen again in a minute. But anyway. That's me. That's what I'm talking about. Ryan gets himself so worked up. Partner says not all ghosts are ghosts, but entities posing as one. Geists are also not ghosts, but something else, but not necessarily demonic, but can be malicious. I have a book that's called The Witch's Guide to Spirits, and it's just like every word for ghost across any culture gets classified by people as a completely different type of ghost. So you got the geists and poltergeists and this, that, and something else, and fine. Here we go. I'm kind of on Shane's side on this one. Like, I want to believe, but there are things that I can't explain, though. That doesn't mean ghosts. Demons send me off the deep end. Wait, who's dead now? Who died now? Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Oh, maybe I do. Let's see. Yeah, Puka. I thought Puka were like trickster spirits, though, like not necessarily ghosts. See, that's my thing. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, all right. So this is Was this only 15 minutes long? Huh. I hope that's the whole episode. Anyway, this is Spirits of Whaley House. I've said this like 9 times now. This is the second time in Buzzfeed Supernatural history that Ryan and Shane went on location to look at a spot. The first episode, I've already covered over on the Paranormal Archaeology YouTube channel, and they went to the Winchester house, they went to the Island of the Dolls, and they went to the Sally house, which the Sally house is also another one of those where I'm like, okay, but here we go. So the first episode they went to 3 different locations. This is the first time they only do one location, and it's pretty damn funny. Oh yeah, Maggie Smith did pass away. In her defense, she had a good one. She had a good run. I don't know who John Amos is. Oh, the guy from Good Times, the father? I don't think I watched that show. Or I don't remember watching it. So yeah, this one should be pretty good. Am I not? Yeah, I'm not subscribed. I think the new episodes of Ghost Files, which is Ryan and Shane's current version of this, is supposed to start this month. I apologize for that. And if it does, we'll definitely be doing real-time reviews as well as doing the back reviews of these, just because I want to watch the most recent ones. I want to watch the most recent ones, period. End of discussion. Yes, she was a dame, that's right. She was knighted. I think that was a show for... I remember it being it's an important show as far as like TV history is concerned. I just don't think I ever watched it. Alright. Once again, I'm going to hit play, and the first thing you're going to hear is Ryan screaming. So just cover your ears or turn your stuff down or whatever you need to do, but here we go. Sorry.
Oh my god. This week on Buzzfeed Unsolved, we explored the Whaley House in San Diego, California as part of our ongoing investigation, Are Ghosts Real? And what better place than the Whaley House, which was ranked by Travel Channel's America's Most Haunted as the most haunted house in America.
Well, I turned to Travel Channel for that information. Put a 1 in the chat if the sound is okay, and put a 2 in the chat if it's too loud. Because I highly doubt it's too quiet. No Winter Seas. I mean, her title is Dame because she is knighted. And a female knight is called a dame. Okay, sound is good, alright. He didn't take the warning. I warned you! You turned it down a little? Okay, I did adjust the sound, so hopefully it won't be so ear-shattering, because he's gonna do that a few more times, just FYI.
Number 1?
Number 1.
Top of the pops?
We're going to the top dog. Let's just get this over with and let's get into the history.
Okay.
Thomas Whaley was born in New York City on October 5th, 1823. In September 1855, Thomas bought land in Old Town San Diego, California.
Here's the thing. I fact-check these when I watch them, not because I think Ryan and Shane are not good at their jobs. It's just the sources they pull from sometimes are not... And even Ryan will say this, you know, he's pulling data from whatever, you know. They're usually very honest about there could be holes in their stories or whatever. They're not doing it maliciously. I just like to fact-check it because I like being able to give people the true story, if you will. Even though my data might be skewed because I'm pulling data off the Whaley House Museum, so they could be fluffing things up. But it does say May 1860 or 1856 is when Thomas Whaley started construction, so he easily could have purchased the land the year prior, so that makes sense. That makes sense.
In 1857, Thomas constructed a 2-story brick home for him and his wife Anna, using bricks from his personal brickyard. And the result was that...
Okay, see that's what I'm talking about. Ryan has the house being constructed in 1857. The Whaley House Museum has the house being constructed in 1856. It's only a year, I get you, but sometimes the timelines... Like, I went over the timeline for the Winchester House in the episode about... And we'll go back. They go to the Winchester House again, so we'll definitely hit Winchester one more time. But the timeline, as Ryan puts it in the episode, is very inaccurate. Again, I don't think it's intentional. I don't think he's like, oh my god, I need to screw this up so it sounds more haunted than it is. It's not. I don't think that's what's happening. But putting the timelines together, certain events just don't make sense. Like the various hauntings that she supposedly was undergoing because of various reasons, they just don't make sense. So, but that's why you need the timeline, because sometimes a year is important. So, cite your sources. Oh, my sources? I am. It's the Whaley House Museum.
The infamous Whaley House that we are investigating today.
This is it. The famous Whaley House.
Beautiful house. Beautiful
And
house.
also, in the bustling area of Old Town San Diego, look at this street. Even if we get possessed tonight, we could have a nice brewski after.
Yeah, and we will.
I'm just trying to distract myself.
No, we have to go in.
Okay.
He's like, no, we have to go in. I love Shane so much. Okay, let's do this. Old Town San Diego. History. Chinese history. Will I get anything? I just want... I know about that one. Okay, so again, Chinatown doesn't start until 1860s. Started by fishermen. The area was once a thriving Chinatown full of Chinese and Chinese Americans who were not allowed to live in other sections of the city. We're talking historically here. So I just wanted to know exactly where it was. Oh, that's China. San Diego has a Chinese historical museum. That would be useful. Okay, so this house in particular, I'm gonna scoot this back real quick because I want to see when he panned to the... Was this it? When did he pan back to the... I just want to see the streets.
In the bustling area of Old Town San
Sorry, I'm looking at the street in particular.
Diego, look at this street.
Okay, there we go. That's much clearer. All right. Didn't somebody say that Whaley House is like basically their stomping ground? Maybe we'll watch something after this about the history of Chinatown in San Diego. Because unlike some people, I'm not going to pretend like it didn't happen. But they have a very distinct looking building as the historical museum for them. And I was trying to see if I could see it from his camera angle, and I don't think so. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. They've got an old mission building that they've converted into the Chinese Historical Museum. And I was just trying to see if you could see it from here. But I don't think so. As I've said 13 times now. All right, let's go.
Street. Even if we get possessed tonight, we could have a nice brewski after.
Yeah, and we will.
I'm just trying to distract myself.
No, we have to go in.
Okay.
Thank you, Dolce.
You do the honors.
Okay. After you?
You go first.
Okay.
I love that Ryan, or that Shane is, like, he digs on Ryan a lot. Like, they play pranks on each other. Well, he plays pranks on Ryan. Ryan doesn't really play pranks on him. But anyway, he's still kind of respectful of the fact that that Ryan does believe so deeply. Shane really kind of tries to be respectful of that. Like this whole instance here, like, you open the door. All right. You go first. Okay. You know, he's not giving him shit for it. He's just going to do it because he knows Ryan's already scared. And there's been more than one episode where Ryan has just been out of his head scared. And Shane has been like, well, I was going to do XYZ, but, you know, he's already scared enough. I'm just going to let it go. And there's been several episodes where he's talked Ryan. I think this is one of them where he ends up talking Ryan down because Ryan's just so scared. It's just kind of funny. The only times I see him really get short with Ryan about it is when they do the sleepover episodes because Ryan can't sleep. And, and Shane's like, I just want sleep. Just let me sleep. Thank you about the witch hat. I cite myself. I can cite myself. Thank you very much. Ryan's funny even when he doesn't mean to be. And God bless him.
Oh, this is pleasant.
Why is it lined in marble? That's interesting. That's a choice. Did they do that intentionally? Like, is that the original walls?
You could feel the history coming from the walls in here.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful?
Not when the history fights back.
Since being built, the Whaley House has been used as many things, including a courtroom and San Diego's first commercial theater, both of which still remain in the house today. But its most famous use was as the home of Thomas and Anna Whaley and their children, who moved in and out of the house throughout the late 1800s and early to mid-1900s.
Peak ghost time. 90% of ghosts are from that era.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah, that's true. You never really hear about a ghost from 2010 or so that's wearing like a flannel and ripped jeans or some shit like that.
Why don't we, though? 2010 is far enough back now. We could probably have some like Gen Zers and their ghosts, their emo ghosts. It could happen.
It's always somebody wearing a bonnet.
Thomas and Anna Whaley had 3 children within the first few years of living at the Whaley House: Francis Hinton, Thomas Jr., and Anna Amelia. Thomas Jr. tragically died at 18 months of scarlet fever in the house, and that same year, Thomas Sr.'s nearby general store burned down in a case of arson.
And?
This dude's son died, his baby died, and someone heard that news. It was like, oh, it's tragic.
Oh, he's grieving. He's probably not paying attention to that store of his.
Burn that down.
Oh.
Monsters living in this town.
Devastated, the family moved to San Francisco, where they had 3 more kids: George Hayes Ringgold, Violet Eloise, and Corinne Lillian.
Okay, the two boys who have like the very elaborate names are both named for Thomas Whaley's business partners. So George Hayes Ringgold is named after George Hayes Ringgold, and I forget the first kid's name, but their eldest son is also named after one of his work associates that he would do. We are the ghosts. I mean, I plan to haunt people, but I look like a gremlin normally. That's fair.
However, an earthquake in 1868 would force the family to return to live in the Whaley House in San Diego.
It seems like they're followed by doom.
Yeah, I mean, they're really just getting boned by fate right now. This is just...
Okay, look. The kid dying of scarlet fever, tragic, unfortunate, but common. The general store getting burned down, it was made out of wood. I don't know why somebody would do that. I'd like to know a little bit more about that detail, but not ghost related. Moving anywhere in California, the whole damn state's a quake zone. So there was an earthquake in California? Shock. So, I mean, none of these things are unusual, right? And unless they happened within like 2 weeks of each other, they're not related either. And even if they were within 2 weeks of each other, that's just coincidence. I am one of those people, by the way. So, I don't know. I'm going to be one of those ghosts that turns the radio on at 2 a.m. Why? Why must you torture me so? Alyssa's going to be haunted by pigeons. Sarosaurus. Good thing his partner wasn't Elon Musk. Excuse me. Ruby Sky, there's a ghost on the tube trains. Can't remember the train line, but he wears a hoodie, and the only way people see him is his reflection, but the seat he's in is empty. Ooh, I like that one. That's a good one. I wonder with regards to an 18-month-old ghost, but 18 months old knowing to haunt. I mean, I don't think you have to know. I mean, it's an interesting theory that we must be taught how to be ghosts, right? Like, while we're alive, we have to be taught how to be ghosts when we're dead. Therefore, an 18-year-old or an 18-month-old being too young to have learned what a ghost is, let alone how to be a ghost. I think that's interesting. I wonder what people would have to say about it. But yes, the 18-month-old is supposedly haunting the house. So I don't think they had fire insurance back then, Tea with a Unicorn, so people in Japan report ghosts of the 2011 tsunami. That's interesting. That's interesting. What are the ghost rules? Why would I say that before bed? I didn't know it was bedtime. I didn't know. Anyway.
Not a good time for them.
Not pleasant.
Unfortunately, tragedy would continue to fall on the family over the years, as Violet Whaley would kill herself in 1885. She shot herself in the heart in the backyard outhouse due to grief over her failed marriage.
Again, not ghost related?
Thomas Whaley found her dying and brought her inside the house into the back of the parlor, where she passed away 15 minutes later. Over the next 68 years, 3 members of the Whaley family would die inside the house. Anna Whaley in 1913.
Of old age.
Frances in 1914.
Oh, okay, maybe not. How old would Anna Whaley be in 1913? Now I want to know. No, Alyssa, that didn't sound stupid at all. It's actually a really good thought. You know, we have to be taught to ghost. Let's see. How old, can I even find this? Was Anna Whaley when she died? 47. She was born in 1858 and she died in wait. That's Anna Amelia Whaley. I think that would have been one of their kids. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Anna Eloise Delaney Whaley. I think this woman, this Anna, died in 1913. Yes. Yeah, this is her. Age 81. That's good for the 1800s, early 1900s. That's kind of good for today. Yeah, and then their daughter, Anna Amelia Whaley, was 47 when she passed away. I think that's the one that got drug into the house. I'm gonna back that up because I want to hear it.
15 minutes later, over her failed marriage, Thomas Whaley found her dying and brought her inside the house.
Getting boned by fate right now. This is just not a good time for them.
Not pleasant.
Unfortunately, tragedy would continue to fall on the family over the years, as Violet Whaley would kill herself in 1885.
Yeah, that's Violet Whaley, my bad. So who the fuck is Anna? Well, she's one of their kids because their parents is Thomas Whaley. Anyway, so this woman was 80, 81 when she passed away. So again, of old age.
13, Frances in 1914, and then Lillian in 1953. Now that we've established the history, let's examine the ghostly inhabitants that are believed to haunt these walls.
If the house is being passed down in the family, which is what that would be. Okay, how was I getting it to do that earlier? I just want you to show me the timeline again. Why are you like this, YouTube? Oh. It's not gonna let me have it, is it?
Jr. and Violet Whaley.
No, it's not gonna let me have it. It's not gonna let me have it. All right, anyway.
Back of the parlor, where she passed away 15 minutes later. Over the next 68 years, 3 members of the Whaley family would die inside the house. Anna Whaley in 1913, Frances in 1914, and then Lillian in 1953.
Okay. There we go. Lillian would have also died of old age. Francis would not have been that old. I don't remember when he was born. But thank you, Alyssa. The doll in the hall during... Oh, that's cute, Dolce. I like that. Dreamt of in your philosophy. I mean, in the early 1900s, 81 was good. And I learned to save the wrong species. Hello. You snuck in here somewhere. There you are. Snoop on the stoop. That's funny. Okay, so anyway. Anna died of old age. Lillian would have also died of old age because I think she was born somewhere in the 1950s, so she would have been really old. Francis, I don't feel like he would have been that old, honestly. Francis was part of the first batch. He was born in 58. 1858. I don't know. Somebody do math for me. No! Where's my thingy? God damn it. I don't know whose freaking brainchild it was to put a freaking AI in this stupid program, but I hate it. It's not ready for prime time. 56. All right, so yeah, okay. So, I mean, for this time period, not great. I mean, but it's still good. You see, he made it to 56 somewhere around there. So, that's fine. Lillian would have been his elder by almost... She would have been almost 90. That's pretty freaking good. So, Anna died of old age. Francis probably died of some illness just because he was old, but not, like, old. And Lillian was old. So, again, why does this make the house haunted? It's not like these are, I mean, they're tragic because people have passed away. Obviously, the loss of life is tragic, but 2 of these were from natural processes, probably. And then Francis, I don't know. You know, it's like, it's not like a ghost of, what was his name? The horse guy? The horse thief. It's not like that dude like showed up one day and like, I don't know, lassoed one of them and hung them from the balcony or something like that, right? Anyway. Hey, thank you, Dolce. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I think I can do... Wait, I can do my... Am I not logged in as myself? Probably. Anyway, never mind. Do it later.
Now that we've established the history, let's examine the ghostly inhabitants that are believed to haunt these walls, and give this house the reputation as the most haunted house in America.
Do you think because you believe in all this stuff that you have a higher chance of being a ghost?
Oh yeah, I would think so. I'd be a pleasant ghost. I'd like pour people tea and stuff like that.
What?
Or I'd do chores around the house. They'd be
I could live with that ghost.
like, whoa, all my laundry's folded. How about that? Thanks, Ryan. And I'd tip my cap and I'd tap dance out of the room.
You sound fun.
Yeah, right? Doesn't that sound great? Wouldn't you like to be haunted by me?
The first ghosts we'll discuss are Thomas Jr. and Violet Whaley. Infant cries are often heard in the house, an experience likely attributed to the fact that Thomas Jr. died from scarlet fever inside the house at the age of 18 months.
Where else would he have died? They keep emphasizing that he died inside the house. He's an 18-month-old. Where else would he have been? Maybe a hospital? But probably not, because there probably isn't that kind of medical care in mid 1800s. Like, randomly dust. That'd be amazing.
On the second floor of the house in the back room, people have seen a young woman and report feeling a profound sorrow in this area. This young woman is believed to be Violet Whaley.
EVP session in what may be Violet's room.
This is the sorrowful room. Do you feel sorrowful in here?
Excuse me. Before we get into their EVPs, because anyway, Ryan's really good about saying probably. He's very good about that, and I have to give him credit for that. Even when he does 100% believe, I am so sorry. Even when he does 100% believe that it's like the ghost thing, because Shane will pin him down every once in a while, and Ryan will come out and say, yes, I do believe, or no, I don't believe. But when he's doing the little voiceovers, he almost always is cautious in his language, which is good. It's good. Now, knowing that, and knowing that he said this is probably Violet's room, means that they don't know that this is Violet's room, and yet they're going to do an EVP session in here talking to Violet. So they're going into this with a faulty assumption. So even if they got an EVP, whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that that would be Violet, correct? I mean, I think they do ask if it's Violet or not, but... Tea with unicorn. Well, we found out who the arsonist was. Marie Kondo. This thing no longer brings me joy. Yeah, exactly. This toddler does not spark joy. Ah, no. That's pretty funny, actually. All right, to the EVP session.
No, not really. I prefer, actually, I'm fine with not talking too much to her because she's
Violet, we're going to be very, very quiet right now. And if you want...
Why does Violet scare him? All that she does is make people sad and cries. My eyes, I'm so sorry.
To deliver us a message, please whisper it faintly into one of our ears. Or,
oh, you son of a...
Or something. Okay. Or make Ryan's tummy grumble. And here we go.
Now you feel sleepy?
Yeah. We're in a bedroom. That's fair.
The music sometimes, I love it, and sometimes it like really makes it hard to hear them, especially in the early episodes. But yeah, that's pretty funny, actually. Toddler to Vancouver.
There are other spiritually active areas of the house with unidentified sightings of apparitions. In the early 1900s, the house was rented out to various tenants by Lillian, so it's possible these unidentified apparitions could be the spirits of former tenants. Some have seen a little girl in the dining room. Vaudeville music is sometimes heard in the theater room.
If there is anybody in here, perhaps you want to do a little dance for us?
And psychics that have visited the house
Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Wouldn't that be funny?
the courtroom is especially active.
What do you feel in here?
I feel a little bit like I'm being watched, but I don't...
Ironically, we are watching him. Do you think past Ryan can feel the watchful eyes of everyone who has watched this video, of the, what comes after thousands? Millions? 13,982,685 people who have watched this video. Do you think he feels those eyes on him?
mind it.
A woman is sometimes seen here in the back corner of the jury box. Paranormal investigators also claim this back corner is a spiritual vortex.
Spirit, if you're here and you're angry...
I love how they always make Ryan do the thing that he's most terrified of. They always make him do that. And he does it. Like, I've only seen him not do things a handful of times. Almost any time he's like, nope, I'm not doing it. That thing's terrifying. I know it's the scariest part of the house. Almost every time, I don't know if it's the filming crew or Shane, manages to talk him into doing it. And he does. The Coast of Flubber. Can we get the next lottery numbers?
Ryan would like to feel a shiver up his spine.
Look at his face.
They don't
Poor
respond
thing.
to specific requests.
That is true. You kind of just have to wait for it to happen.
Maybe it's a good portal.
Maybe it's a good world.
Maybe.
My flashlight went out.
Are you serious?
He's like, oh my god, your flashlight died. It's so funny. Ryan and Shane use a thing, I think they do it in this episode, where you take a mag light. I don't know if it's all flashlights, but the mag light specifically does do this. You can unscrew it to the point where it's just touching. The little diodes are just touching. And the point of that is you're then supposed to talk to the ghosts or the entities, and they will either turn on or turn off the flashlight as a response to your questions, right? But, and they do mention this, it will do it randomly as well, because it's random. That's what's happening. It's just random. And so because of that, and the whole concept of like ghosts will drain batteries, that's why Ryan's terrified of this right now, because Shane's like, the batteries in my flashlight have died. They probably made sure that those were fresh batteries before they went in. And so Ryan is assuming that whatever is haunting this particular area has drained the batteries of Shane's flashlight. Why wouldn't it drain everything in the room, right? Why just Shane's flashlight? Why isn't it draining the power from the camera that Ryan's holding, and Ryan's flashlight, and whoever the camera guy is right now, you know? Why a flashlight? Why a flashlight, cousin? They did name their channel Watcher. That is true. Hello, Bryn. The other Bryn. Good to have you. Perception is everything. That is the important thing about Ryan. That's why the two of them are so good for, you know, talking about paranormal archaeology. Ryan works himself up, right? Ryan scares himself. Again, regardless, it doesn't matter if the house is haunted or not. It doesn't matter if a ghost really did drain the batteries from that flashlight. Ryan believes that that's what's happened. And so now Ryan is scared, again, from the flashlight. Like, he's already worked himself up to this point. And so now the flashlight doesn't work, and I explained why. Now Ryan's terrified because a ghost is clearly in the room with them, right? Shane, on the other hand, is the one that discovers that his flashlight is dead. He knows if he says that, it's going to set Ryan off, which is why he mentions it. The other reason he does it is because despite the fact that Shane is a skeptic, like diehard skeptic, he tries to do the ghost investigation stuff to the best of his abilities. And he does that because if he follows the rules and the rules produce a result, then something happened, right? So that's why he's mentioning the flashlight. Does he think that a ghost has just sucked all the battery life out of his flashlight? No. But the flashlight not working is strange, and since they're already engaging in ghost activity, he needs to mention it. This is why I say, even when you're a skeptic, your behavior around an object or a thing or a place is still going to be affected, even when you're a skeptic. Again, Ryan, or Shane, biggest skeptic on, that's his point of the show, is he's a skeptic. But yet, he will still engage with and mention when things that are supposed do with haunted stuff, he will mention that stuff when it happens. Also, it gets Ryan riled up, so in his opinion, it's worth it. You love being the other Bryn. I don't know where the first Bryn got off to. Emily, paranormal archaeology is the thing. Yes. I like to make stuff up. This one's real. Nobody has a feeble mind. Everybody can understand everything. It's the same concept of not showing the monster in horror movies. Yes. Yes. Hello, Tia. Well, it's the first day of October. I've kept the hat on. Oh, I should turn the hat off. Actually, I don't want to run the battery out. Yeah, see, the ghost was doing it. Anyway, my hair's caught in it. It'll hurt later. All right. Anyway, let's watch. Let's get back to Ryan reacting to the flashlight.
Perhaps battery?
No. I mean, possibly, but I don't know. Do you feel something?
No, there's creaking in this chair next to me. Maybe it's just because it's old wood.
Old wood doesn't creak by itself.
Yes, it does. It totally does. That's kind of the point. Look at him. He's just trying to work Ryan up.
It was sad. Oh fuck, dude! I feel very weird.
God, I love him so much. Shane is such a butt monkey. Thank you, Emily. The hat is very cool. And that mushroom fell over. Whatever. Can you look at his face?
Why do you feel weird?
I feel like dizzy.
You feel dizzy?
Yeah, I'm not shitting you. I know every time people watch these ghost hunter shows, they're like, this guy's full of shit, but holy balls, dude. Wow.
He's worked himself up to the point where he's having physical reactions to his fear. I don't doubt that he feels dizzy. I don't doubt them at all. He has reactions like this in other parts, and I think in more parts of this. But again, Ryan believes. And again, his belief has caused him to work himself up to the point where he's now having a physical reaction to what Shane said. Ryan says, "Oh, I heard a creaking from the chair next to me, but it could just be because it's old wood." Old wood does do that. It expands and contracts. There we go. But Shane says old wood doesn't creak on its own. And now Ryan thinks that something is in the chair. And because of that, he is now feeling dizzy. Thanks, Ryan. Shane is such a troll to Ryan, yeah. Excuse me. Oh yeah, you can study anything through archaeology. Hence the archaeogaming. Where are they? They're in the Whaley house. They're in the theater section of the Whaley house. Oh no, they're in the courtroom section of the Whaley house. My bad. Sorry. They go to. They'll get there.
I don't like this. Oh wow.
What was that? Did you get a shiver up your spine?
I did. Holy shit. Oh man, that was crazy. What the fuck is going on, dude?
Can you still move all your limbs?
Oh, I can still move all my limbs. I just feel very uncomfortable.
My goodness.
I know you don't believe me. I can see the look on your face right now.
I love this show so much. Now we get to watch Shane try not to fall asleep. Why are they sitting? Oh, that's the vortex chair. I'm like, why are they sitting in that chair? There's supposedly a vortex, a spiritual vortex there. So that's why they're sitting in that chair and not any other chair in the gallery? Galley?
I don't feel particularly strange. It's not a great chair.
Outside the house, another police officer also had a paranormal experience more than 30 years ago. There was a 911 call from a concerned citizen reporting a woman crying outside the Whaley house, and the officer who responded to that call would witness something that he would only reveal in his confidential retirement letter decades later. When the officer came onto the property, he saw, quote, a woman at the back of the house crying, end quote, and mentioned she was in period clothing. The officer asked, quote, ma'am, are you all right? End quote, to which she turned around and smiled. And when the officer shone his flashlight on her, the woman vanished. Bizarrely, the house also sports the rare instance of a ghost dog and a ghost cat.
Okay, look. I'm perfectly content to be haunted by ghost cats. Maybe even a ghost dog. Psychologically, it's fascinating to see different people's reactions. Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to react differently. Well, within a certain range. Yes. Shane's such a butthead to Ryan sometimes. My goodness. He says that more than once in these shows. But the confusion was like... People really do the paranormal archaeology thing. Like, I think I'm the only one that uses those words. God, there's a guy called John Sabol, S-A-B-O-L. Might be L-E, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he has a lot of self-published writing, and he focuses on using archaeology as a form of ghost hunting. And then I mentioned April B. Saw at the beginning. So, and there's lots of people that do the paranormal. There's a really good book called Spooky Archaeology by Jeb Card, and it's dense, but it is worth it. It's also kind of expensive. I think it's in paperback now. So if you don't want to buy the hardback, which is beautiful, it's on the Kindle, and it's also in paperback. I think it's in paperback. I have the Kindle and I have the hardback. But the hardback was a gift. Because of the way I am at catching me off guard when someone gets scared and doesn't say every swear word in the book. I had to quit doing haunted houses when I realized that my knee-jerk reaction to getting jump scared like that, even though I knew it was going to happen, was to physically hit the thing that scared me. So I was like, let's just stop now before this becomes a lawsuit. I have to wonder if this show would have worked as well with two women, or if they would have both been more skeptical or afraid. There's something College Age Boys that makes it so much funnier. I don't know. I don't suppose we'll ever know, because I don't think anybody will do that. But yeah, there's a different set of expectations when it's two guys versus two women. Like, even if one of them, even if you just literally switch genders on Ryan and Shane and change nothing else about them, I still don't think the show would have been received the same way, but that's a whole different conversation. Tea with unicorn, you're funny. I watch a lot of Ghost Adventures. Is that the one with the dude bro? I think I watched a couple episodes real early on, and the guy is like constantly getting possessed or something. I don't remember. I was unimpressed with it, so no. But yeah, he's the one that's got the haunted museum in New Orleans, I believe. I would love to go see that. I want to sit in the cursed chair. Maybe. Want a ghost cat so bad. I've been to that house. Cave dwelling vampire. I've been to that house in Old Town, San Diego. It's beautiful. My friends fell down a couple of steps going down the stairs on the tour. Oh, you tease them about the ghosts. Well, I hope they're okay. Ruby, your first cat visits you. You know, I had a black cat, which is easy to hallucinate. I had a black cat before the batch that I've got right now, and sometimes I think I see him out of the corner of my eye. So, which is also not creepy. Call Me Chris and Selena have a ghost hunting vlog on their channel. It's kind of like I'll have to check that out because I like Call Me Chris. They swear immediately after being spooked. Zach, yeah, Brannigan? I know, I'm not being that guy. I literally can't remember his name. I do remember I did some reactions to his Haunted Museum TV show. Mostly talking about the objects that were supposed to be haunted there, so he's a little spooked. Zach also is dumb enough to climb a hill during rattlesnake mating season when they visited Idaho Penitentiary. I didn't know there was a rattlesnake mating season. Selena Boo is really entertaining. I'll have to check that out. If you guys want to send me a link to that, I'll Baggins? Like Bilbo? Anyway. Yeah, if you guys want to send me a link to that, Call Me Chris and Selena Boo, I'll totally watch. We can react to some of that. Yeah, Lucy Jane. I feel my cat do that sometimes. Jump on the bed, and then you look down and there's nothing there. He liked pushing his luck. Yeah, well, that's why I called him a dude bro. Alright, anyway. Haunted animals.
Both of which the Whaleys owned at the time.
Then are there also ghost ants? Is there ghost trees?
No, there's no ghost trees. I'm sorry.
Actually, I think there is one. I think there is a ghost tree. I have to remember where that was. I'm almost positive there's a ghost tree.
You're not telling me someone's never walked through the forest and seen a tree and be like, huh? But wait a minute, that tree was there. I swear there was a tree there a second ago.
You know what? I've changed my stance on ghost tree. That's actually pretty cool.
Ghost bacteria, etc.
Stop it.
Okay.
Two other ghosts that haunt the house are Thomas and Anna Whaley themselves. Many report seeing Thomas Whaley on the upper landing, where one person claimed he wore a frock coat and pantaloons. Some have reported that he blows tobacco smoke and
Pantaloons? Did they say he was wearing a frock coat and pantaloons?
Anna Whaley themselves. Many report seeing Thomas Whaley on the upper landing, where one person claimed he wore a frock coat and pantaloons.
I don't know if Thomas Whaley was a cross-dresser, but that's kind of what we just said here. Frock coat. Alright, men's. Alright. Okay, but a frock coat is the coat that goes over everything. So it's the outer coat that goes on after everything. It's the suit jacket of the time. Pantaloons are underwear. Pantaloons. I swear to God, this thing can hear me. Pantaloons for men? 1800. Men's pantaloons, 1800. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay. I stand corrected. Alright. He finally gets to wear what he wants in the afterlife. My bloomers! Pantaloons are just pants. I stand corrected. I was wrong. They are pants. So he's wearing pants and a coat and nothing else. Yeah, but it's like formal wear or everyday wear, the frock coat. It's not casual. If you were in a casual setting, you would take it off. If you were at your home, you would, unless you're constantly dressed for guests. I don't know. Mammy Bell says pantaloons are way earlier. Anyway.
Some have reported that he blows tobacco smoke in visitors' faces.
Now that's just rude.
I know, it's kind of just a dick thing to do.
Could you imagine seeing a ghost? Oh my goodness, look at this strange apparition. And he just comes up to you and he's like, you're like, oh, Jesus, man.
Anna Whaley is typically seen in the garden or in one of the downstairs rooms. Anna has also been spotted wearing a green gingham dress, sipping tea in the parlor, a place where Thomas has been seen as well.
Blowing smoke in people's faces. Or he was cold. They have other coats for coldness.
Interestingly, Anna also reportedly had a run-in with the San Diego police. One night, a Whaley House tour guide named Victor Santana was setting the alarm, and as he was punching in the code, he heard a woman say, quote, "Why are you here?" End quote.
Get the hell out of my house.
Which spooked him to the point that he ran out the front door without completing the code, setting off the alarm. Shortly after, a San Diego police officer responded to the Whaley House.
Or was she trying to start a deeper philosophical conversation with him? Why are you here? You know, and he freaked out. I mean, philosophy's difficult, so I could understand wanting to run away from that.
Santana recollects the officer, quote, claimed there was a woman in a green dress in the parlor, end quote. But by the time...
Did he see somebody and then heard? See, I need to quit stopping these things like I do because I miss important sentences. Insert fake citation here. No. You have to not cite it. You have to not cite it at all. Just say science says. Diary. Deep, edgy ghosts.
Backup arrived, the woman in green had disappeared.
How do you arrest a ghost?
Okay,
You
so
can't.
You hang
Cop
I guess you would
saw.
have to be a ghost
the cop saw the woman in green. Okay.
cop.
You know what? I rescind what I said earlier. I won't pour tea and full clothes. I'll be a ghost cop.
Yeah, that's actually pretty bad.
Ryan Bergara, ghost
Ghost
cop.
cop.
Doesn't that sound nice?
That's awesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
However, the final and perhaps most feared ghost of all is the ghost of Yankee Jim.
Ah, yes, Yankee Jim, the horse thief. Goth ghosts.
You better watch out, or Yankee Jim will give you some taffy. Some folks say they hear him playing a jolly little kazoo tune in the middle of the night. He's not, that's not a ghost, that's not a spooky name.
Part of the reason this house is haunted is due to what occurred on the land before the house was constructed.
Once. They hung a dude once.
In 1852, James Yankee Jim Robinson was sentenced to hang to his death for attempting to steal a boat. He was hanged on a gallows off the back of a wagon on the land where the Whaley House stands.
Was he a boat thief or a horse thief? Do 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 do. That's kind of cool. We're gonna hang on to that. Million miles away. Oh, here we go. They actually have a paranormal investigation section on the Whaley House. Dun, dun, dun. It says the Whaley House says he's a horse thief, but it doesn't say exactly what he was executed for. So I have no way of verifying. But the website for Whaley House calls him a horse thief, which would imply he was stealing horses. And that's why he was executed, as opposed to trying to steal a boat and then executed for that. And this is, if this is true, this is another thing that you get with pseudo-archaeology a lot. You'll get multiple origin stories that are alike but different. And this is an example of that just with, the supernatural. We can agree that there's somebody called Yankee Jim, and we can agree that he was hung, but what was he hung for? Was he stealing boats or was he stealing horses? Both of those makes him a thief, right? I guess both of those are hanging offenses, but which one was it? Because he can't have been hung for both, because at some point you're not there anymore, and I guess you could hang a dead body if you wanted to. Sorry, I'm getting morbid. Anyway,
But in pseudoarchaeology you see, in pseudoarchaeology you see this a lot. The multiple origin stories with just enough variants that most people don't really you don't think about it, right? But I think about this too much. This doesn't necessarily mean anything in particular with paranormal archaeology. It doesn't matter if it's haunted or not. It matters how the humans are interacting with it now that they think it's haunted. What if the boat was in the shape of a horse? What is he, Greek? Horse boat. I vote a horse boat. Horsey McBoatface. Lee. What is a boat but a horse that travels on water? You know, I think the Vikings referred to their boats as steeds. He stole a boat to carry the horses he stole. Oh, that's Stephen Yee with the ghost cat. Oh, you're a ghost cat. Well, you can hang out here. And then doesn't he go like pester his son about something? The ghost cat has a job. Trojan horse. History is morbid, yes. Stole horses and got away, then got caught for the boat. You're right. Wouldn't that be the thing? Made it scot-free for the horses, and then they catch you on the boat. Dang it!
Today.
This is the grave of Yankee Jim. They did, straight up murder him for, stealing a boat. He didn't even successfully steal the boat, and yet he was still hanged. I mean, he did get a nice little plaque here.
That is a bummer.
That is emotional damage, guy. God, he's funny. Anyway. I think it was a relatively common practice to bury people where they were executed simply because you didn't want to cart them back down. A lot of people didn't get like a good Christian burial if they were found to be criminals. And that's an interesting detail that I learned with Salem, because they don't know where the bodies of the accused are. They think they might be somewhere around the areas where most of them were executed, but they've never located them. Or if they have, they're not saying. And I don't blame them for not saying, because, people are people. People be peoplein'. But one of the things that the tour guide had mentioned was that it was common to not give them proper burial and to also just kind of bury them where they were executed, because convenience, and also it's an insult. It's the final insult to somebody. You're a criminal. Ah! So, and that's why we have so many criminal ghosts, because they're not buried properly. Rashomon effect. Multiple accounts of the same event by different people, and all are plausible. I did not know that had a name. Rashomon effect. I'm going to forget that, but I don't want to forget that. Emily, you're welcome. I love this stuff. I as much as I'm like nitpicking, and I'm really not, I love this show so much. Is that straight up murder? No. It's not murder if it's done by the state.
If I were him, I would haunt this place.
I would too.
Totally. You know what, Yankee Jim?
It's bullshit.
You know what? I hope you're riding a speedboat in heaven.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a great speedboat up in heaven.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
You're ahead of your time, Yankee Jim. Rest in peace.
Interestingly enough, Thomas Whaley was reportedly in attendance of that hanging, yet still purchased the land a few years later, a decision that would literally haunt him for decades to come. Thomas and his family would reportedly hear heavy footsteps in the house.
Did they? Okay.
An occurrence that Thomas himself would attribute to the ghost of Yankee Jim.
Did Thomas himself write down in his journal? I guess I just need to let him finish the sentence, because I'm really bad about that. But here, let me drink some water first. This is a 15-minute video, by the way.
Anna Whaley also believed the house was haunted, and furthermore believed the property itself was cursed and perhaps accounted for the tragedy that continually befell the family.
4 of your 6 children survived into adulthood. That's pretty good. That's I would think is kind of average for the time. Like, not everybody got to grow up in this time period. So also, how do we know the Whaleys thought the area was haunted? Are there journal entries? Are there letters? You guys are still talking about Stephen Yee. You were just watching a video yesterday, but it was about a shopping mall in Ireland that was built on top of mass graves from the Irish famine. Wow. You got a good deal on it. Oh, thank you, Rocky. Mary Immaculate College Shopping Center in Ireland, which was built over mass graves from the Great Famine. Oh. Interesting. You asked ChatGPT. Well, chat can never be wrong. All hail the AI overlords. Hello, chicken! No, what did I do?
But to finish this off, let's spend some time in the parlor, which is believed to be one of the most active areas in the house.
This archway was the spot where old Yankee Jim met his demise. And
How do you know that?
this was where Violet was taken when she was shot. This is where Mrs. Whaley was seen by the policeman.
I'm gonna try and talk to him in here. What if we just one at a time, so it's more private? Just each of us try to just spend like 5 minutes alone.
Let's do it before I change your mind. Come on, let's just do it.
I'll go first.
This is the beginning of the thing that they do in the show now, where they have to spend a minute or 5 minutes or some amount of time alone in the most haunted part of the show. So this is actually the other reason I wanted to watch this, because I wanted to watch their ghost hunting evolve from when they very first started. They don't have any ghost equipment with them, really. They have a tape recorder. I think they were even using their phones. They have a tape recorder, they have a flashlight, and that's it. That's all they've got. They don't have any of the cool gadgets and stuff that they have in the newer seasons. And they hadn't really worked out like the way that they were going to go through their procedure, right? Their procedure. They hadn't worked that out yet. And so this is second investigation. So they're working on developing that procedure here. Oh, hey, not my tail. Hello. The Tiny Blue Tuesday. I just wanted to do something besides the girls today. Even though I released a video about the girls today. Adams State is built on top of a cemetery. They did not... the Jersey Devils skating rink, it's built on top of a very large cemetery that was not fully relocated. And I know that for sure. So I think there's we estimated there was like 110 individuals, 120 individuals still left when we got kicked off the site. So yeah, if you ever go see a Jersey Devil, game, let me know if you see any ghosts, because you have 110-ish to pick from. Anyway. Zombie roller derby. That'd be amazing.
All right.
5 minutes.
You're an idiot.
It's awfully quiet. Yankee Jim, I hear you're a fan of boats. You know, I myself would love a boat. I'm gonna be quiet now and just embrace the darkness.
This is what I'm talking about when I say, even though Shane is a skeptic, he still tries to go through the motions in the best of his abilities, right? He's literally talking to Yankee Jim. He's trying, I mean, as a conversation that you would strike up with a total stranger, you know. And then he knows that the EVPs come up when the silence is on the video, when there's silence in the room. So now he's going to be quiet with the hopes that Yankee Jim is going to leave a message on whatever they're using to record there. Shane doesn't believe in any of this. And even if something comes up on here that sounds like talking, which I'm sure Ryan found, this is before they started doing the behind the scenes. And anyway, even if Ryan finds an EVP, it probably will not be good enough for Shane to accept as evidence. I'm a big skeptic of EVPs as well. So, but regardless, Shane is attempting to do the ghost hunting, right? He doesn't believe in this stuff. But if he had just gone to visit the Whaley house on any random day, A, he wouldn't be there at night. So there's the first strange way of interacting with the site. B, he certainly wouldn't be carrying around an audio tape trying to talk to the random ghosts that are there because he wouldn't know that they are there. So. The osteopath yes, the one in Newark. Yes, that one. There was fire on the ice? I don't know. Like literal? Or is that a thing that they do? Yes, we know that started as a teacher's college in the 1900s. What are you doing? Oh, you're still talking about the school. All right, back to Shane.
Here we go. Please do feel free to, you know, make it stink or change the temperature, give me goosebumps, whatever you're feeling. Maybe you'd like to appear to me now and sing a little song about boats. I tried to talk about
Sing me a little song about boats. All right. Yeah, Newark, New Jersey. Yeah. What did you think I was talking about, Dolce? Now I'm curious. Although they project fire onto the ice. That's kind of, I bet it looks cool.
boats and it didn't work. I found it very calming, I gotta be honest. When my 5 minutes was up, I was kind of bummed because it was like almost like meditation.
Shane, I guess it's my turn. No. Okay, you're gonna be okay, Ryan. You're gonna be fine. Just breathe. If it's any consolation, if there's anybody in here, I am terrified. And if you're scared of me, just know that if you show yourself in front of me, I'm gonna urinate all over this carpet. I do not want to see anybody. I'm not talking to, oh God, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm not talking to anybody. Oh, I'm losing it. I can't.
What?
Okay, what are you messing with me?
What are you talking about?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, something whispered in my ear. I can't.
See what I mean? This is the EVP that he heard.
My God. Dude, something whispered in my ear. I can't. I can't. I can't.
You know they're only doing that so that they can play his scream over and over again. It's not really for the EVP. Thank you, chicken. You will have a code brown. Osteopath. But since it's built on a cemetery, I no longer have faith that it is not real and not just the ghosts being poltergeist. I mean, this is before hockey. I hardly doubt that they're hockey fans. They might be. But yes, there you go. Fun facts. Anyway. Tea without unicorns.
So I sat in here for 5 minutes. You locked me in here by myself, which I already was against from the beginning.
And yet somehow got talked into it.
Something breathed in my right ear. And it was so prominent, I thought it was you messing with me. I'm honestly in shock right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
After being
Shane, are you?
dedicated as a historic house on May 25th, 1960, the Whaley House has received over 100,000 visitors per year, and a countless number of those people report paranormal experiences. For there to be so many
So if this was dedicated as a historical location in the 1960s, and the Chamber of Commerce or the Department of Commerce declared it, no, they didn't declare it. The Department of Commerce put out the thingamajig, the brochure talking about haunted locations throughout the U.S. in the 1970s. I really wish I could find a copy of that brochure too. I did my best, but it wasn't good enough. But anyway, so so the house was somewhere between 10 to 15. The house had been a historical landmark for about 10 to 15 years before it was declared haunted. So I would like to see, that I don't think I ever can see this. I'd like to see their visitor information from the point where it was declared historical till it was declared haunted. And then I would like to see their visitor information from the point where it is haunted for the next 15 years, because there's no point in tracking it past that point. But I'm willing to speculate that their visitations and the number of people who came to see the house increased significantly, probably, after it was declared haunted. So oh, that's kind of cute, Dolce. Ghost horse. Isn't Gettysburg the most haunted? Haunted place, perhaps. We're talking haunted houses.
instances of reported paranormal activity in the house, I can certainly believe that it is haunted, especially when considering the history. But nonetheless, whether or not the house is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
Dun-dun-dun. Oop, losing my hat. Okay, so that was the Spirits of Whaley House. And like I said, this is the very first season they were doing this, so they weren't doing like the postmortems, they weren't doing the behind the scenes stuff yet, and they weren't showing like their evidence yet. And I don't know if they start doing it this season or if they start doing it in the second season, where they have like a segment at the end where they kind of show things, or they show things throughout the video. The EVP, I mean, it sounded like somebody breathed heavy, but that's what Ryan said it sounded like. He didn't say it sounded like a word. He just heard, and that freaked him out. All right, hat's gotta go. And see, it's my headset. I can't squeeze it down over my hat. I can't squeeze the hat over the headset. Anyway. So yeah, it's interesting watching Shane and Ryan develop the way that they're going to go about ghost hunting. They didn't do any kind of seance together. Did they do it in the first one? I think they held a seance in the seance room at the Winchester house. But they make that more of a regular occurrence throughout the rest of the show. We'll see in the second season, but because there's not that many on-site investigations in the first season. And yeah, and then the whole spending time in the haunted location for X number of minutes by yourself kind of a thing. That's something that they're developing. Like I said, they don't have a lot of equipment. They have the bare minimum right now. I think the next one, well, I know the next one is the Mary Scott? No, what's the name of that damn ship? What's the name of the ship? If I click backwards, no, you will not. I don't know. It's the boat. Of something Mary boat. Anyway, on that one, I think they use heat sensing equipment. So that's the first time they like upgrade their kit some. So that'll be fun to watch. We're not going to watch it right now because I don't know how long this is. Yeah, we're not watching that right now. But yeah, I enjoy watching this kind of development and that kind of a thing. And again, watching Ryan interact with the paranormal is how I expect Ryan to interact with the paranormal, because he admits that he's that strong of a believer, right? So his interactions are going to be what you would expect from somebody who was a believer, right? I'm more interested in how Shane interacts with things because I know he's a skeptic. And because of that, you would think as a skeptic that he wouldn't want to go along with things, right? But he does. And he still interacts with the houses and the locations as if they were haunted. And again, if Shane were to go to the Whaley house just because for some reason he's into architecture, he would not interact with it. Like, he wouldn't even be worried about a ghost vortex. He wouldn't care about the ghost dog and cat, unfortunately. So he has altered his behavior around the Whaley house because it's haunted, right? The Queen Mary. There we go. Thank you, Tia. And everyone else. Victoria, thank you. Are you talking about the horse? He stole a seahorse. Bye, Dolce. Actually, I'm going to wrap up in here. So I'm trying to think if I have anything like truly deep and significant to say at the end of this. I really don't. Again, we're just watching the behavior of people around haunted spaces at this point. So I remember, again, the flashlight going off, not being able to turn back on. That was a significant moment for Ryan, where Shane was just like, eh. And then with the chair creaking, it was, again, a significant moment for Ryan, where Shane was basically trolling him at that point. So those kind of interactions. If Ryan didn't believe in ghosts, he also would probably not be interacting with the Whaley house. I don't know why I thought that one. He wouldn't be interacting with it in the same way that he does interact with it. So there we go with that. That's just kind of the point I'm trying to make here. And would I love to go to the Whaley house? I would. I'd love to go to the Whaley house. I'd love to do a paranormal investigation at the Whaley house. That would be kind of fun. The Whaley house site had, before we take off. Oh yeah, we were going to do that too. Yeah, wait, no, come back. Baby, come back. They have a paranormal investigation page. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. So again, this is on the Whaley House website itself. Join us in our after-hour chilling paranormal investigation. You'll have exclusive access to the very rooms where the Whaleys lived and died, not accessible to the general public. And then, of course, creepy doll picture, because creepy doll picture. This chilling new adventure gives guests exclusive access to the latest ghost hunting equipment as they attempt to connect with lost souls. So are they providing people with? Oh yeah, each guest will be provided with and trained to use an array of traditional and state-of-the-art ghost hunting equipment. Or feel free to bring your own. Alright. They kind of making it sound like it's like Pokemon Go here,
With a wide variety of tools of the trade, you'll attempt to find ghosts and other supernatural beings. Like, it's like Pokemon Go. But yeah, so this is the Whaley House, like, way leaning into the haunted aspect of it's trying to lean into that haunted aspect because they know it brings in money. This is not free. Okay, you can't go to the Whaley House and just be like, yes, I would like to do your paranormal investigation. They're not letting you in for free. So, somewhere on here I thought it had the price of the ticket. Oh, and here they go over some of the equipment they use. The EMF meter, the paranormal response device. I need to look these up. The spirit box. Yes, the spirit. I hate the spirit box so much. The thermal camera. I think they use this in the next episode. Oh god, dowsing rods. Laser grid. And then they've got some pictures of various people doing various things. Ghost hunting. It's neat that they're leaning into it. Investigation starts at 10:30. I kind of want to see if they have... Oh, well, there you go. So, what am I looking at? Add trip protection. If I'm dropping $150 on this, you're damn sure I'm putting trip protection on that. I want my money back. Because let me tell you about trips. Let me tell you about traveling right now. But as you can see here, if we wanted to go tonight at 10, it's going to be $113 because today is Monday night. For some strange reason, tomorrow, being Wednesday, is going to be $141. Oh, here we go. Scroll up. It is also the month of October, so maybe their prices go up during October. Anyway, why is the 8th sold out? Such a random number to be sold out. Because it's a Tuesday. That makes no sense to me. And of course, you know, the 30th is sold out. I'm surprised the 31st isn't. So their prices here range for one person somewhere between $113 to $170 for you to go and do your ghost investigation. That has to really be bringing in some money for them. And they're probably working with a local ghost hunting group to be accessing the ghost hunting equipment. And this is on top of anything else you want to buy. Like, this doesn't include general admission, which I guess if you're going behind the scenes, you don't really need general admission. But it also doesn't include, like, the ghost tour of the house or anything like that. You are the ghost tour of the house. But if you wanted to do more than just this, and also per person, just per person, per person. So, oh, guys, don't worry about the Atlanta trip, seriously. I didn't mean for that to come out so dramatic. Yes. But, again, changing the way we interact with something because we think it's paranormal. The Whaley House wouldn't even do this if they didn't know that they can bring in some money for the paranormal stuff, right? So this is changing the way the Whaley House even operates. And whether they believe they're haunted or not, irrelevant, the behavior around the house changes because people think it's haunted. So, let's see. Before we go... Let's see. Where's the about page? Oh, I wanted about. So here's a website for the San Diego Chinese Historical Society Museum. Yeah, and so they're trying to preserve the history of the Chinese in San Diego. So
And the San Diego's Chinese Historical Museum's permanent exhibit is housed in a mission-style building designed by Louis J. Gill, nephew and protege of famed architect Irving Gill. This structure housed the Chinese Community Church, formerly the Chinese Mission, where English language classes were held for new immigrants who often lived in adjacent dormitories. So, they say when it was built? They do not. Because learning English was not a priority for the early immigrants. So, they moved the building? Okay, so they moved the building to 404 3rd Avenue. And that's I think it's funny that it's 404. By 1960, the Chinese community had relocated from downtown San Diego and built a new facility on 47th Street, sorry. So it was slated for demolition in the 80s. And sorry, I can scroll that up. So they saved the building in the 80s? Somewhere around there. They would have had to have. And moved it to where it is. The whole damn building. Alright. I'm always fascinated when they move entire structures. It just fascinates me. That they can even do it. Okay. I don't know how much we care about that. Yeah, I don't think any of that's really important either. But I just kind of want to highlight this because, like I said, they would have been here during the time that the Whaley House was occupied. They would have been working with people because of the gold rush. They would have been providing services during the gold rush because that's what they did until the Exclusionary Act, and even after the Exclusionary Act, because a lot of them were still here. So here's just an example of some of the stuff they have within their collection. I think that's a painting. But they also have a community research access program. So that's kind of nice. So I don't know. If you're in San Diego, go give this a look. If you're planning on going to San Diego, go give this a look. I would say if I went on my fabled trip to San Diego and I was going to go see the Whaley House, I would also stop by this just to kind of round it out. Again, I think we should remember history of everybody. Can't just erase an entire group of people. Apparently you can, but you shouldn't. But anyway, all right. So if you've made it this far in the video, and I'm just kind of checking in on there. Wandering Ghastly. You guys are funny. If you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave a ghost. I mean, why not? Go ahead and leave a ghost down in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think. Do you watch BuzzFeed? Do you like BuzzFeed? They're not on BuzzFeed anymore, but do you watch Watcher? Do you like their new Ghost Files show? Are you looking forward to the next one starting? Let me know. Excuse me. And that's it. I will see. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see everybody. Oh my god, it's dark outside. I will see everybody next time. And yeah. Spooky. I need a spooky outro. Goodbye. Boo. Oh, Lord.